What's up, y'all? It's your boy eBay Fight Predictions in the building, and this is your eBay Fight Predictions year-end awards for 2022. And man, what a year has it been for submission. Some crazy, crazy things have happened in terms of who have gotten submitted. Guys who've never been submitted in their careers have been submitted, and we got some of those guys on this list. I wanted to crack this video out really quick, so because I am going to go to work, and I don't know if I'm going to be doing a 16-hour shift or a 12-hour shift, so I don't know if I have enough time to go clock out another video. So I just wanted to get this one out of the way, so you guys got something to watch at night. I'm gonna post this like right away. I honestly don't care, but yeah, let's talk about it. Top 5 submissions of the year. At number 5, I had to start with Michael Chandler versus Dustin Poirier. So like I was saying, the theme of this year has been a lot of people that have never been submitted in their careers being this the year they get submitted. And Michael Chandler is one of these guys. I thought it was impossible for him to get submitted. Like, if any way Dustin Poirier was going to win this fight, it was going to be via strikes, but he wins it via submission. And this is something really special. You could say, oh, Michael Chandler's age played a factor into this, but maybe. But think about it, man. A guy like Charles Oliveira had his back for at least a solid minute and couldn't do anything with it. Some of the best grapplers in the world, even in Bellator, have given Michael Chandler like problems on the ground, but they weren't able to submit him, like Brett Primus and stuff like that, right? And he has just been unsubmittable, right? And I don't know if it's the neck, I don't know or what it was, but it seemed like you just couldn't submit this guy. He had solid grappling. But Dustin Poirier weathered the storm, and this was the first time we saw in a Michael Chandler fight in the UFC especially, where he used his wrestling at a very, very high clip, and I think it backfired on him. You know, he wasn't used to wrestling as much as he did in that fight. It's been a long time since he wrestled that kind of pace, and I think it kind of backfired on him. And Dustin Poirier is gritty, and I think this was a good fight for him because a lot of people always, talk down on his grappling, and he kind of showed what's up, man. He showed that, hey, his thug jitsu is for real. So that was actually really good for him, and for him to get that submission and for him to be the first guy to submit Michael Chandler, that's something good to have on his resume and his record. So that's actually really, really dope for him. At number 4, I had to go Jessica Andrade versus Amanda Lemos, standing arm triangle, first ever in the UFC. This was really, really crazy from Andrade against a girl that just looked amazing in her last fight against Marina Rodriguez. And the funny thing about this submission is just how the fight was playing. Is Jessica was losing the stand-up, and for her to get the arm triangle the way she did, it was clutch. It was unique. It was special. Some people might actually have this as their submission of the year, and I don't have no issue with that. It's unique. It's first time we've ever seen it, and it's really, really special, and it's actually really, really cool. So yeah, I had that at number 4. At number 3, I went with Claudio Puelles, his knee bar over Clay Guida. Yeah, I know Claudio looked like a hoe against my boy Dan Hooker, but besides that, man, this guy's submissions are still clean to me, even though that's all he really has. He still has clean jiu-jitsu. I think he has to work on his striking, but when he can get stuff like that on really good grapplers like Clay Guida, he's legit, man. And even Chris Gudismacher is actually a decent grappler. Not the greatest, but it doesn't matter. He's still got that awesome submission on him. And the kid's a good fighter, just needs to develop his skill set. But, man, he's lethal on the ground, and he's something to look out for, man. And, yeah, that was a legit gnarly submission. At number 2, this one really, really pained me that I couldn't put it at number 1. And some people are going to disagree with me. It was Said Nurmagomedov's guillotine submission over Cody Stamann. Couldn't say his name for a second. This was insane, man. I remember I was watching this fight, and I picked Cody Stamann going into this fight. And I thought Cody could, he could bring something that he had in that Song Yudong fight, that wrestling pressure. And, I thought he was going to bring it in here, and he ended up losing, and he got caught in a really, really good guillotine by Said. And this was really gnarly. It looked cool watching it live, and I was like, wow, okay, maybe this guy's really good. And obviously, Nurmagomedov going, 3-0 this year. Really spectacular. And I felt like I really wanted to give this kid a nod or something like that, but I just couldn't because number 1 was just so crazy. And I think some people have forgotten it, but it's just... This was a really cool looking submission. I'll just say that. But yeah, it honestly, this and number 1 can go like back and forth with me, honestly, but it is what it is. And at number 1, I've talked about number 1 enough. It pains me to say this, and it pains me to give this guy any credit, but since he is going through some shoulder issues and he doesn't have the UFC belt anymore, I had to give him something. It's Yuri Prochazka's rear naked choke victory over Glover Teixeira. You guys know I'm a big Glover Teixeira fan, and this pained me watching this. You guys can see my reaction. If you don't know what pain looks like, that's pain. This was an amazing submission. Even though it's simple, it's not even a real rear naked choke submission with the hooks or the body triangle or any of that kind of stuff. It's who he did it against. Glover Teixeira has always been known as one of the better grapplers at light heavyweight. Yeah, early in his career, he liked that knockout life and he liked to box and stuff like that. But later in his career, he became a real threat on the ground and a real grinder and a real submission guy and a guy that you probably can't submit. And in this fight, out of all the guys you think would submit Glover Teixeira, it would not be Yuri Prochazka. And what Yuri Prochazka did in that fight, just going through the fire against Glover, was kind of insane, and just submitting him. I think it was a fluke, but the fact that he did it to Glover in like 28 fights or whatever, or something crazy like that for Glover Teixeira, it's pretty remarkable. It's insane. So respect to Yuri Prochazka for getting that victory, and I had to give him a submission of the year. I gave it to him in my mid-year awards, and I just feel like there hasn't been any moment that has topped it. Yeah, you have that Michael Chandler thing, but Michael Chandler was like 36, you know what I'm saying? This is, I shouldn't even say 36 or even talk about age when coming to Glover Teixeira. The difference is, this was third fight under on a pay-per-view. The Glover Teixeira and Yuri Prochazka fight was a fucking main event for a title. That's the difference, and against a guy that's grappling phenom. So, but yeah, it is what it is. I give it to Yuri, even though he's not a great grappler in my opinion, but it is what it is. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Like, comment, and share. Let's get this eBay Fight Prediction Nation growing. Follow me on my Instagram. Follow me on my Twitter. Let's go. Love y'all, and goodbye. See y'all.